welcome to Impact House. So what I did is I turned an office space into a pop-up art gallery studio. Check it out. So this is all about me sharing a little bit about my process on how I'm using technology, material manipulation, and art to create physical pieces of work. As you can see here, some of my computer code here that it gives me understanding for like how do I automate my customer support, how do I think about utilizing AIs in ways to come up with more creative ideas. So this is pretty much what I work with, like a little desk area. I came up with this piece, which basically it's called To the Moon. It's about really just going for it and using all the colors and the materials to create something beautiful, and it came out to look like that. So here, this hallway, we turned it into this really cool experimentation of stuff. So this wall is my process wall, and that wall is my product wall. So in the process here, I start out with some ideas and materials on like how I'm thinking about putting it together. And then for this particular piece, I use AI to generate an image, and from that image, I created some artwork. So the prompt, is basically information you put into an AI system and it spits something out. It was like generate a painting based on what you know about me and tie it to success. So I use that as to think about how am I using these different softwares and services to make me become better at what I do. You get some color combinations, some different materials from the different pieces that I've worked on in the past. And this is just a way to kind of explore how to really refine my process. This piece in particular is a little bit of paper, a little bit of cloth, a little bit of dye, a little bit of plastic, and it comes out to look really, really fun and funky. So if you think about how do we blend technology and art and creativity, these are the multiple ways that you can do it. So this piece right here is about endurance, going through trials and tribulations. It's called Gateway to Dante, which is based on the poem Dante's Inferno. So when Dante was going into the 9 gates of hell, it was this gate that had like a saying on the top. And I just kind of interpolate that into something that I've struggled with, which is endurance. So how do you keep going through all your trials and tribulations? And that's what this piece is all about. Even though I'm an abstract painter, I use figurative work to become a better overall painter. This one is kind of about our family tragedy, on how the media and how life rights and all that stuff, storytelling can kind of impact people. And this is basically, us watching the TV, our story on TV. And it was a really interesting play on using my abstract technique, but also using my figurative work to create something unique to myself. Here is one of my really cool paintings. So this one I really integrated with AI. So before, when we talked about putting prompts into systems that generated an image, I used that image that we talked about earlier, and then I use that as a base to create this piece right here. So it helped me think about color combinations that are specifically tied to things that relate to success. Success is something that I've struggled with, so how do you really prepare for the blessing and ask for help? And that's something that I've added into this piece. Here's another piece of work what I use about my color combinations, and pretty much that's my Popup studio. Thank you for coming.